Happening now, the American Red Cross is calling for blood donations this summer.
Yeah, the organization is in need of diverse donors in an effort to help those suffering from sickle cell disease. Joining us live to explain what that disease is and how you can help is Ange Montes with the American Red Cross. Good morning, Angel.
Good morning, Jenny and Emily. Thank you for having us on.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So first, kind of explain to you, what is sickle cell disease?
Yeah, so sickle cell is a lifelong inherited blood disorder that there is no current cure for. And it impacts heavily the African American community here in the United States. There's approximately over 100,000 people in the United States that are impacted by sickle cell. So we might wonder how does that impact the body or these individuals that are living with this every day. So we have what's red cells in our body. Those are nice round shaped cells that carry oxygenated blood throughout our entire body. So what happens when the sickle cell attacks the red cells, those red cells start to break down, and in the process of them breaking down, they form what you would envision kind of like a sickle, like that old farming tool, or you can say like a kind of like a crescent moon, if that makes more sense for some people. But they harden. So what happens is that as the body, as the sickles or the cells are trying to go through the blood vessels, it causes a lot of pain for people because one, they're hard. It also loses its effect with carrying that needed oxygenated blood throughout the entire body. So like I said, it's a lifelong disorder. A lot of people are impacted, specifically within the Black and African American communities. And something that should be noted along with sickle cell is that there is what's called a sickle cell trait. Now, 1 in 13 Black or African American babies have this sickle cell trait, and that's an inherited gene from their parents.
Okay, so that's one of the reasons then that we're seeing it more in that community. So we know then that blood donation from healthy blood is so important in helping treat sickle cell patients. Why is it so important to have diverse blood donors in the donation pool to help in the treatment of this disease?
Yeah, thank you for asking that question. So the importance is that when you have individuals that are from the African American community, for example, they're likely to carry the same antigens as another member of the African American community. So it's a closer link between those communities specifically. And like I said, it's important that people that have this condition, they need to be readily connected with people that are part of their background, their heritage. So that's why it's important. But in addition to that, the reason that it's so important is that when people come in and donate blood, what helps these people that are going through this lifelong condition that is permanent, right? There is no cure for it, is a blood transfusion, right? So when you do a blood transfusion, you infuse the body of these individuals with red cells, healthy red cells that carry oxygenated blood throughout the entire body. It can also unclog some of those arteries so that, like I said earlier, when those red cells start to form those odd shapes, they clog up and they cause a lot of pain for these individuals. But these infused transfusion of red cells from healthy donors helps them, and it makes sure that these people are not going through a painful daily experience.
Yeah, and so you need these diverse donors. You also need businesses and organizations to help. How can they do that in these upcoming months?
Yeah, of course. So what's important to go back just real quickly on the diversity of donors, I should note that Latino donors, over half of Latino donors have what's called O positive blood. So that can be transfused into any patient with a positive blood type.
Oh.
And then we also have O negative. So this kind of transcends diverse groups, but if you have O negative blood, you're the universal donor. So that can be transfused into any patient at a hospital that needs that blood immediately. So that's why we need that blood. As far as how we can help not only collect additional units, but also help the Red Cross collect these units, is by hosting an American Red Cross blood drive. And people can do that really easily. They can go to redcrossblood.org/host-a-drive. So that's redcrossblood.org/host-a-drive. And it'll walk you step by step on how to set up a blood drive. An account manager from the Red Cross will call you and they will walk you through the process. And we'll find a date, we'll find the right equipment to send out there. most importantly, what we're looking for is people to host blood drives at businesses, high schools, colleges, universities. Maybe they have an event that's coming up. That would be a really good setting for us to host that drive. And then to connect it back with the importance of those diverse donations is if there are individuals from communities of color that are business owners, that are having events that are tailored specifically to communities of color, those are the individuals that we're really looking towards reaching out to us, going to redcrossblood.org or calling 1-800-RED-CROSS at 733-2767 and letting us know that they're interested in helping us save lives.
Yeah, over the summer is when, you got vacations, school's out, that's when we tend to see the blood supply drop a little bit. So it's really important if people can to organize those drives right now.
Yeah, Ange Montes with the American Red Cross. Thanks so much for joining us this morning and breaking it all down for us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and to learn how to donate blood or become a blood drive host, we'll have that information on coin.com.